Welcome back to Mike's Magic Meals. Tonight is leftover night. I mentioned in a prior video where I did some 45-minute pot roast that there was going to be too much meat to eat for both Trudy and I. And I thought maybe I'd be doing some tacos. Well, I've decided I do have a hankering for tacos, so I just wanted to show you the prep. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. It's easy, and I promise when we're done, this is food that you could do at home, simply in very little time, and the quality will rival the stuff that you get at the restaurant. So first I'm going to add a little heat to a pan. Just a touch of oil is going to go in. I want to take some onions, and I just want to cook them until they're translucent. This isn't not trying to put a face on them or anything like that. And this is going to take a minute. And it's a pretty simple quote recipe. This is all kind of ad hoc. Here's the beef that I'm going to put in. It needs to be seasoned because when we dined on it, it was just roast beef. I'm going to add some Mexican spices, some taco spices, courtesy of our good friends at McCormick. I'm going to add some Hatch chilies. I'm going to add some hot green Hatch chili sauce. And I have a little leftover actual chili that I made, as chili and beans. It was probably 4 or 5 days ago. So already the onions are trying to go translucent. In goes the roast beef. And this is essentially all the stuff that we had the other night. So simple so far. A little bit of the taco seasoning mix from McCormick. As I said in that prior video, I've actually prepared this myself. This is very good. I think it's a good, easy replacement for the stuff that you can do at home. So anyway, I'm just going to put a light coat. And you'll notice so far there's no salt. A touch of the green enchilada sauce, chili sauce, and all of this is rather heating up together. I'm going to take a little bit of the Hatch chilies because I do want, these will actually add some heat. And I do want a little bit of that in the filling for the taco. But just a touch. And then here's a tomato-based chili, a little bit left over, and I'm just going to use a spoonful. And at that point, I'm just going to let this sort of marry. The flavors are going to meld together, I think. And I'm going to check my seasoning, so I'll do that now. Does need just a pinch of salt. If I wanted to, I could eat this right now, but instead I'm going to put it on the back burner. I'm going to let it sort of rest. I'm going to put it on ultra low heat, and I'm going to be, I'm probably going to have half a beer and then start doing tortillas. It's going to be delicious. Hope you're enjoying this. I am. See you in a bit. I'm going to prepare the tortillas now, and to do that I'm going to put heat on under the pan. This is that high carbon steel pan that I mentioned when we did tacos a week or 10 days ago. I've got it on medium-high heat. I'm going to add oil, and I'm going to take the fresh tortillas. I didn't make them myself. These are store-bought. If you can make your own using masa, even prepared masa, that's great. It's actually better, but these are going to do for me tonight. I'm going to fry up about 6 or 7, and the texture that I'm going for is I want them pliable, but I want a little crispiness at the edge. And the reason I do that is that's basically how I grew up. And it's hard for me. I've had them ultra crisp. I've done them with the flour tortillas, and I just prefer them this way. So up goes the fire, and I'll do a couple of these, and then they're actually going to be held in abeyance. So I'm in the middle of preparing the tortillas. I've got one of the tortillas in the pan. It's a corn tortilla. This is store-bought. If you can make your own with fresh masa, it's better. I know that because growing up in Southern California, I had some of the mothers of friends of mine who did it that way. The texture I'm looking for is I want it pliable, but I also want a little crunch on the end. If you want to use this with flour tortillas, that's fine. These are corn tortillas. They happen to be gluten-free. I'm not concerned about that, but if you are, this is the way to go, and it's going to be delicious. So I've got the fire under the pan at a medium high, and these are probably going to take 60 seconds a piece. I'll do one. I'm going to put it on the drain pan. I have a paper towel out here to drain away the excess foil, and then I'll probably do a couple at a time. I don't want to bore you with that. Once I get that done, I'm going to come back. We're going to begin preparing a plate. My wife Trudy, who is behind the camera, and the key grip, is going to shred some lettuce for us, and we'll be dining here in a little bit. Okay, that's starting to look about right. Golden brown around the edges, but I can still fold it. And out that baby comes, just like that. Out with the old, in with the new, and we're going to repeat that 6 or 7 times.
So there's a fair amount of oil in that. How much oil are you using?
That's probably 2 or 3 tablespoons. It's not a great deal, but there is oil. It is lightly frying these tortillas. This is one of the things, you have, quote, ethnic food. I grew up in an area of Southern California that had a lot of immigrants, first generation people. And I remember the abuelas, and I was introduced to the food that they brought with them across the border, including the tacos. And it included everything from roast beef, as I'm having tonight, ropa viejas, I can remember chicken. It was all just tasty. And this was stuff, particularly as a high school kid, you're hanging out with your buddies, and you show up at their house, and there's a grandmother there, hey, Stevie, you hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry. Your friend's hungry too. Yeah, we're hungry. And the next thing you know, you're having tacos shoved at you. They're really the good stuff. That's a great memory too. Anyway, I'll see you in a couple minutes. I'm hungry, and welcome back. Something was just pointed out to me. Thank you very much, Trudy. This is the kind of supper that you could make for guests if you wanted to. I cooked these tortillas, and I put them into a low oven, 170 degrees, just to keep warm. The meat will hold. So if you want to have guests over, have a glass of wine or a cocktail, you can actually do the tortillas, put them in the oven, turn the meat off, and it'll keep. And you're ready to go anytime that you want. So let me grab a plate, and I'm going to tee it up. So a couple of tortillas on my plate. And again, these are out of the oven. I'm going to take just a little bit of the meat. I can make more if I want. I can add more if I want. But it's hot, and I can promise you, I tasted it, I admit it, and it is delicious. I'm going to go with a little bit of the cheddar cheese. Again, this is what we were served when I was a kid, and I appreciate the cotija and that kind of thing. I like this better. A little lettuce, just shredded. some sliced tomato, and again, I just want a little bit of this. I'm going to use a little bit of fresh onion and the sauce from Mexico, Cholula. And I'm just going to put a splash on it. And for me, these are ready to go. I can't wait, so bear with me. Leftovers are great. I'll tell you what, kids. Let's get together and cook, shall we? These are terrific. Thanks for watching.